On the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. I'm a middle child of two brothers, one older and one younger. And yeah, I had a really fun childhood. I guess some of my most fondest memories is just playing out in the street with my brothers and my friends and neighbours. And yeah, we were a very active family and just loved being outdoors. I guess I started in sport with team sports. I played netball from a really young age, which is very common in Australia. And I also played touch football. And I made representative teams in touch football before I started making them in running or triathlon. So I would say I actually came from a team sports background, if anything. And I started running just because I really enjoyed little athletics and cross country through school. And I guess I started running training with a triathlon squad, and I guess I felt a little bit out of place and I felt a bit jealous that I wasn't doing the two other sports. So at around 14 years old, I started swimming and I started cycling, and I started doing those two other sports with the Tri Club and did my first triathlon at 14 years old, just at Robina, which is where I was living at the time, and have been hooked ever since, and eventually had to give up the team sports, but in the end it was a pretty easy decision because my love for triathlon was there from the very beginning. So I moved to Brisbane a few years ago. I live in an area which Josh kind of grew up his whole life, so it's very different. It's not very far from where I grew up, but it's really hilly. It's just a totally different kind of vibe and different area, but yeah, I absolutely love it. We've built a home here together, which I absolutely love, and yeah, I feel like we've got a really special space here which we can enjoy. And yeah, it's also really great for triathlon. So I kind of feel like we're in the perfect place to kind of swim, bike and run. And we both love nature, the outdoors, and around this area is very leafy and green, and we've got so many trails on our doorstep. So I feel like that's something which, I absolutely love doing every day. And some days you don't feel so great, but it's pretty nice when you can go out and your job is to still be outdoors and being around those beautiful parts of nature and exploring the trails and just doing what I love. So I definitely love it, and it's perfect for what we need right now. Let's see if this poor guy can survive our overseas trip. Hopefully. Yeah, what would my botanical name be?
Well, what genus do you want to be? Eucalypt? Do you want to be a Grevillea, Banksia? Grevillea Ashleigh? Grevillea Ashleigh with an I, so it looks Latin. A-S-H-I.
I thought you'd be more creative with that one, but I think I got away lightly.
Nights made of gold and silver, we're feeling crystallized.
The Olympics is still something which I find quite difficult to talk about. It's something which I think, is on the mind of most people when they're doing an Olympic sport. I started the sport at age 14, and I made my first Junior Worlds team when I was 16 years old, and I was able to get 2 silver medals and a gold medal at my 3 Junior World Championships. So I guess from a very early age, I was in that high performance environment, and then quickly made my way through senior and elite racing, and it wasn't always easy. I think I obviously showed promise from a young age, but that move up to the senior level and Olympic distance is sometimes quite hard. I know it was for me a little bit just finishing school and kind of finding my feet. I felt like there was maybe a year or two where I was probably just also getting used to my new body. I was growing up, I was becoming a woman, and when you're in elite sport and an endurance sport, trying to also move up in distance, I found it a little bit difficult. But once I did, find consistency and kind of grew into my body as such, I guess I found success or consistency in the sport quite early. Getting a number of top 10s for a long period of time at the World Series level. So the Olympics were definitely on my mind, and I was so lucky to be on the Gold Coast and surrounded by people like Emma Moffat, Emma Snowsill. I was training with Liz Blatchford. So many people who were also either aspiring to be at the Olympics or had been there and won medals. So it was something which I'm not sure I didn't always think about it, but I was surrounded by it. I was surrounded by these people who had such great success and such amazing Olympic stories. So, I made 2 Olympics, and I am really proud of that, but part of me really struggles with that as well, because, I didn't fulfill my dreams at the Olympics, and I was very far off my potential at both of those. So it is pretty difficult to swallow a lot of the time, but I guess I can be proud to say that I'm a 2-time Olympian, but just unfortunately didn't really, fulfill my potential, and it's not always easy to think about.
Just over 4K, got some, pretty basic work still in this couple of easy days before we hit the next training block. So getting a good feel of the water again, a little bit of pace change, but fairly straightforward swimming.
So I guess having that independence to choose, where you go and what races you do is something which it sounds kind of appealing to everyone, right? But I will say it was a little bit daunting as well. I am very thankful for my time in short course and I guess the support that I got to be in that Olympic system. But somewhat daunting to be removed from that or remove yourself from that, and it's literally you're on your own, like figure it out. And I guess I am quite an independent person, and I think that I had the ability to make that transition pretty easily, of course with the help of Josh, who has been doing long course for a really long time. But being able to choose your own training camps and just not being stressed about, being at certain races, it was amazing. And it's been really great to be able to explore new countries and race in different places. And I've really enjoyed getting to know a completely different cohort of athletes too. And the vibe before all of the races I did last year was really great, and I found myself in an awesome headspace. And I think that that's largely to do with the ability to kind of choose my own race calendar, training destinations, and also just in general the people that I chose to surround myself with. When I think about it, and I think about love in the terms of a triathlon context, I feel like I'm super lucky to do what I love in my job. There's so many parts of triathlon which I love anyway. I love being outdoors. I love seeing different parts of the world and experiencing different cultures and getting to know, learning new things and being stimulated by that. And I'm able to do that in my job, thankfully with triathlon. And you know, outside of that, I guess, you know, I love my plants and my veggies and planting what I can and hoping I can help it survive. I love baking and reading and probably a lot of things that go hand in hand with being a professional athlete. Nothing too overwhelming or exhausting. So yeah, I love our little setup here that I've got with Josh, and we enjoy spending time outdoors here in the summer, and then we're so lucky that we can also do that wherever triathlon takes us on the other side of the world.